Hey guys, we are live. It is day 6 of the wake up call, the Love You experience.
Man, and it is just, even though the sun's not bright and shiny right now, it just feels amazing out here.
Yeah.
It's just so calming and quiet and peaceful. And I've had a really good morning with personal development and in these groups that we were talking about.
Yes,
like my spirit gets elated being in those groups. Guys, if you're not inside a group that is where a bunch of people come together and they actually talk about these types of topics, you're truly missing out, because there's so much knowledge and so many like minds in there that it can change the course of direction of your entire day just from seeing one thing that you may have needed to see. And the fact that so many people are posting in there different things.
Absolutely.
There's always something for everybody.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because there is no such thing as too much change or too much growth, too much knowledge of any sort. So however you can get it, definitely.
There is such thing as a portion in it, but there's no such thing as too much of it.
Right. Absolutely. So today what we want to do is touch on some questions that were brought to light about that individuals are going through in their personal life. So if you're listening, if you have some questions or concerns about something that you might be experiencing, go ahead and go to the group and place your questions there, and we will get them answered on the next call. So the first one that we have comes from a lady who just joined the group a couple of days ago, and her question was, do men need reassurance more than women?
And I love that question, because oftentimes as women we feel that men are just from Mars and we're from Venus, and we feel like we're millions of miles away from them. But the thing is that we all have that same chemistry that makes us in the way that we actually have to act in the same patterns, the same habits as human beings.
Right.
So it does not matter whether we're masculine or feminine, we still have those same needs.
Right.
Yes, men's needs and females' needs are different, but with the core, coming down to the core of who you are, you actually have to look at that and realize we are the same.
Right.
As far as how we think, even though we tend to overthink and say that it's just women. That's not the case. I know many men who overthink.
Right.
And make situations more than what they are. So back to, do men need reassurance more than women? Absolutely not. We need the same equal assurance. And the thing about that is even in that question, it comes in a form of, I need assurance from someone else. And that's simply not what it is. You need assurance from yourself.
That's
you need
powerful.
that confidence in yourself, that knowing, that faith, that love, all has to come from yourself, because no matter the amount of reassurance that anybody on this earth gives you, you're never going to believe it if you don't first believe it within yourself.
Right.
And that is why so many get into a relationship and then they feel like their spouse is on another planet. They feel like they're in two different worlds. It's because they're feeding off of each other.
Right.
Let me make you feel this way and let me make you feel that way, instead of them coming together, realizing we both need to work on ourselves. We both need to love ourselves so that we can love each other properly.
Right.
And that is why so many women in general feel neglected, feel they are not special to their loved one. It's because you're on two different
platforms.
Yes.
Yeah, the playing field is not even even. Right.
So you have to, as far as the reassurance goes, first you get it in yourself. And then if you're in a relationship, it has to be equal.
Right.
And not 50-50, 100-100.
Right.
You take that and you bring it together, and then you reassure each other with the reassurance of self.
Right.
And that's what makes it more beautiful. And like she was saying about his behavior, how he's been acting. Honey, I can tell you right now that that kind of behavior is not the behavior you're looking for from your soulmate, from your twin flame.
Right.
That is the behavior of karmic relationships, which is why I put that in there. Also, when you are dealing with a relationship with anybody, it doesn't even have to be like a love relationship as far as husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. When you're dealing with a relationship with anybody whatsoever, you have to understand that everybody has a different way of processing things and acting on those processed information.
That's good.
Yes, so when you can put yourself back here and look from outside the box into the box and see, okay, I've had times where I acted like this. Why did I act like that? Okay, this is why I acted like that. So now I understand why maybe he's acting like that.
Right.
You have to look back from that perspective for you to understand what they're going through.
Right.
Everybody's purpose is not meant to be interpreted the same either.
Right.
So when you try to understand somebody else, you get yourself more confused. And then you start placing feelings inside yourself of, they don't love me, they don't want to be around me, they're ignoring me, they're up to no good, all these bad feeling things that we don't have to have. It's only that we have them because we're not understanding enough of where they are in their journey.
Right.
We're so consumed in me, and how I feel.
Right.
That we're not even caring how they feel or getting to know what is causing them to tick the way they tick.
Right.
And oftentimes with relationships, especially women, they push themselves on the man. They don't give them that time. Guilty. They don't give them, that's why I can say this.
Yeah.
We don't give men the ability to be men. They want respect, and they want to know that they're in control of the situation.
Right.
And though we may have a better way of doing things, we still have to give them ability to feel like they are in charge. They are men.
Right. That's real.
So you have to step back and be like, okay, if he doesn't want to talk to me right now, I'm going to be the bigger person. I'm going to wait for him to talk to me, because by the time he comes to talk to you, he really wants to talk to you. It's not a forced talk.
Right.
And like I was telling you yesterday about when it's a real twin flame, you don't have to force things to come together. You don't have to force the love. The love just is there.
Right.
So there's no forcing of it or trying to make it happen. You can try and split yourself as hard as you can away from it, and still, boom, boom, you're colliding back with it. That's when it's real.
Right.
If you got to sit and say, will you please come hang out with me? Will you please come have dinner with me? Will you please talk to me? Why, or attack them? Why are you not talking to me? Why are you ignoring me? You're only making the situation worse.
Yeah.
And you're really pushing them away.
Right.
Because in that moment, you're needy because you don't know yourself enough to not be needy for somebody else.
Wow.
And that pushes everyone away.
Wow.
So it's when you stop being needy for someone else's affection and love and give it to yourself, then everything and everyone you ever wanted will be attracted to you.
Right.
Even the relationship you're looking for.
Absolutely. And that's powerful. I made a status about that today, saying how more in love with myself I became after rediscovering some things that I might not have seen yesterday, a week ago.
Right.
But just to be able to have that realization, that real moment with myself, and assure myself that I am all that I need, no matter what's around me, who's around me, and then continue to stand firm in that and build my strength, the love of myself, find the things that I love within, and everything else will work out the way it should be. You know, the more you improve yourself, the more you look at the things that you might be missing because of love, because of lust, because of whatever that has your mind clouded. When you take that step back, it's so much easier to see, okay, I'm tripping with myself. I don't need them to feel that void because I've already filled it within myself.
Right.
And that makes, like you said, the attraction so much more powerful when it's not forced, when you're not looking to fill a void, when you're already fulfilled. When two parties are fulfilled within themselves, that is where the magic happens. When it's brought together.
Yes, because if you are over here fulfilled, and your partner is over here unfulfilled, they are constantly taking out of your fulfilledness to fill them, which drains you, and then causes resentment, hatred, jealousy, anger, all those feelings towards your partner. And you're sitting here, I've done it before, sitting there thinking, why am I pissed off at him right now? I have absolutely zero reason to be pissed off, and it was because of me. creating all that. And it was because he was not fulfilling himself, and so I was having to take from mine to give to him.
Right.
And that makes chaos, just like confusion does. Right. So there has to have that equal balance of both parties.
So my question to that is, if your partner is not fulfilled within themselves, you being the supportive girlfriend, wife, whatever your role is at that particular moment, how do you fulfill your partner, or how do you show them or push them in that direction?
Never push. Never push. You
guide them in that direction.
Let them come to you, and then always have that handout, without judgment, without saying you're doing it wrong, without saying you're taking too long at doing it.
Right.
Even if you're in a relationship that you know that is only monetary, that you have to make that cut, tie, it's going to happen eventually. You still, ask me that question again, because I lost my train of thought.
How do you fulfill or help your partner who is not fulfilled in the things they need to be fulfilled in? Like, how do you guide them to that structure?
Okay, yes. You have to, like I said, keep your hand out to them. Anytime that they have a question about their spirituality, about their awakening, be there for them to support them in that situation. Don't go overboard and try and push it in their face or try and make them do this or that. That's going to build resentment in them towards you.
Right.
When you do that, they're going to feel like you're trying to tell them what to do. You're trying to control the situation.
That sounds so familiar.
Right. I know, right?
Shit.
So, and it makes you reevaluate. It's self-check time.
Yes.
It makes you reevaluate everything, because then you're like, wow, I created that shit.
Yeah.
I'm over here mad at you, and I created it. Like, it makes... But at the same time, you cannot hold yourself down while they're growing.
Right.
You cannot go backwards to get on their level while they're growing. You have to just be there to assist, explain things when they need it, and uplift them, tell them you're proud of them, about their journey, how they're growing, things like that. Stuff that's going to make them feel 10 feet tall and bulletproof.
Right. Okay, so my next question, now, this kind of turned into an interview session, but the questions are just popping up in my head, and I know a lot of people probably have the same question. So my next question is timing. A lot of people get so frustrated with time. They're not moving fast enough. It's not happening when I want it to happen. How do you continue to uplift and support your partner, seeing that they are struggling with becoming one with self?
You have to realize that it's purpose, even the timing of what they're doing. The timing, everything happens in perfect timing.
Right.
Because the plan is already laid out. So there's only one time for things to happen, and that is when it's perfect for it to happen.
Okay.
I lost my train of thought again. Oh. Okay. Timing. Yes. Okay, like I said, purpose to happen. So you can't dwell on what time things are going to happen, because then you lose focus on what you're wanting, on where you're going, and everything like that. And in all actuality, timing does not even exist. Time is limitless.
Right.
So what are we trying to do? Why are we trying to time it?
Right.
If we want it to happen purposefully and right on time, to where it's perfect, because on time is always perfect.
Right.
So if we want those perfect moments, then we have to learn the patience to get to that perfect moment.
That is powerful.
We can't just rush into things, because like I was talking to you yesterday about cycles and rushing into cycles. If you are in a cycle that you want to be broken, and you go to try and get out of that cycle by pushing it and rushing it to happen, all you're doing is putting a hold on that cycle for a moment for you to jump into the cycle again later on.
Oh,
you're not completely peacefully detaching yourself from that cycle, and that means you have to grow within, so you understand the cycle you're in, and then cut the cord in the cycle in you, so that you can get past that.
That is powerful. I think that's how a lot of people get caught up in going from relationship to relationship to relationship, and still feeling lonely and
feeling
unhappy.
Like every guy out there is bad.
It's the same.
Every girl out there is a hoe. You know, this is how they all feel, and it's because they have not went within and understood anything yet. They have not searched for themselves in the midst of that breakup. People, they get out of one relationship because it's an abandoned ship, and they're jumping onto another ship that's already fucking sinking. And they don't even know it yet because they didn't spend any time with them. They don't know what makes them happy. They've lived for someone else so long that they don't even know what to do anymore other than serve somebody else in a way that it harms their being.
That is very powerful. I saw a meme not too long ago that said, it pointed out men, but I think it's in general all sexes, that when you are single, that is not the time to have sex with whomever, just have wild crazy part. Like, if you're in a serious relationship and a serious relationship is what you want, and let's just say that relationship doesn't work, that is the time when you're single to work on you, like you said, to develop yourself, to understand where the relationship went wrong, your part in there.
Yeah, because you can't see what you want if you don't even know what you didn't want. So you have to reevaluate. Like I told you, reflection. Reflecting on what has already happened will give you a new awakening to what is and what should be.
Absolutely.
Because there's so many things that I did not see when we were together that once we were separated, it clicked. It all made sense. And then I found me. And that was that one key I needed to know what I want and what I don't want with clarity.
I like that. That's very powerful. Wow. So you have me thinking over here about a lot of things.
I love the question like this. That's when my source comes out so good. Keep on.
Absolutely. So, okay, so the second question that we have, a new gentleman that came to our group this morning, he said, how do you make yourself realize and believe that you are different better after watching yourself make a mess over and over concerning key areas in your life? I think that touches on a little bit of what you just kind of explained.
Yeah, you have to, first you have to realize there are no mistakes. Yes, they do exist, but they're purpose mistakes. When you realize that everything that happens to you is purpose, then you realize even your mistakes are purpose. They're there for you to reflect on and learn from and grow from and take with you. So when you look back at your reflections, your mistakes, you look back with love. You love them away. You do not feel shame. You do not feel any kind of negative emotion towards what you've already done because it's the past and it was not a mistake. It was meant to happen. Had you not went through what you went through, you wouldn't be where you are right now, and you wouldn't be have the ability to start awakening yourself to what really is. It took you going through all that bullshit to get tired of it and say, okay, there's got to be something that I'm missing. Something that's going to help me get through all of this. So to get past that point, again, goes back to loving yourself.
Absolutely.
Loving everything you've ever done to the point that it does not even faze you when you think about it. So there will be no shame left in you when you love it. And you find the positive. Pull every positive you can out of every situation, no matter how negative it is. Like even the death of a family member. When we have someone die in our families, instead of sitting around crying, we talk about every funny, every happy moment we could, and we laugh our butt off and rejoice in the life they had. And another thing is you cannot accept yourself or you can't accept others until you accept yourself. And that means no flaw, no matter what flaw you have, no matter what imperfection, no matter what mistakes, no matter how bad they are or how bad you think they are, because like we've already discussed, there is no such thing. That's when you can really transform yourself and how you perceive the world around you.
I agree. Because there's some things that I hear now that I can say, okay, you know, that it happened. You can't change it. What's the next move? What's the next step? Versus harboring over it. Because, like you said, going back to that place, you're only putting back into the universe the things that you don't want.
And
creating the habit.
Old things, reflections are only meant to be reflected on. Past events are only meant to be reflected on, because if you dwell on those past events, you steal the piece of your today. And today is where you are now, and it's the only place that matters. So why steal today from yourself thinking about who you used to be? You have the opportunity every single day, every moment of every single day, to start a new beginning. And the only thing that stops you from doing that is you.
Right. That's powerful. Yeah, I mean, I think that number one, realizing the difference between the source, your spirit, versus your flesh. Of course, what am I trying to say? I don't know.
We're having a moment today, ain't we? It's alright. Good things have come from it.
Mm-hmm.
You have any more questions?
It was just the two.
Okay.
From the group anyway.
Well, then I guess we are good on answered questions. Is there anything else that you want to talk about today?
No, not really. I just wanted to definitely get out there, and
I feel like we got what was meant to get out today.
Yeah, absolutely. Because right now I just feel like it's forcing.
Yes, I feel we're very accomplished, and the people that needed to hear this are going to hear this, and that's all that we're doing anyway.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, we definitely won't force it past this point, since my memory don't want to come back. And we hope you guys enjoyed the show. Like I said, if you have any other questions or things that you might be going through, feel free to ask them in the group, and we will take them on the very next show. So don't be shy. If you have anybody that you would like to introduce to our group and introduce to our recordings, feel free to have them added to our group. Until then, we will see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hope that helped.